I have a request from our club administrator, Kim. Please remember to fill out a guest card when you bring a guest with all the requested information when you arrive so that she can know who to bill. Thank you. We appreciate that. At this time, will I invite everyone who is here with one of those guests to please come up and introduce your guest to us. Lovely Amy Seymour will be here to help you.
Hey, Heidi. How's it going? Here you go. Here, Miss Heidi.
Oh, okay. Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Seitzema, and I'm happy to have my colleague, Benita Jackson, here with me. She is the development coordinator and one of the three of us at the Community Foundation who work in development. So welcome, Benita.
It does a lot with AI. Great presentation.
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Here you go, sir.
Thank you. And we'll look at him first.
Thank you. AJ knows what to do. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is JJ Lewis with United Way of the Lakeshore. An amazing guest is with me today. He is our new workplace engagement coordinator, volunteer extraordinaire, and you too could be a volunteer extraordinaire. Steve Keglevitz is with us today.
Thank you. Here you go, ma'am.
Well, are we in the right spot first up? Well, we're a team. This is my best friend, Marianne Darnell. I'm Aslan Scott, by the way, for those that may not know me. And Marianne and I go back at least 40, more than that, 40, 50 years. Right, and she's an extraordinary person. She does a lot of community service and activism, and I am so proud to say that she's going to be inducted next week. She's done everything she needs to do with the exception of being inducted, and so you all come back for that, because this is going to be really good. Thank you.
Hi there. Good afternoon, everybody. Pete DeBoer with the Community Foundation, and we're here with Martha Samuel, our scholarship coordinator. She is deep into scholarship season right now, so she came for lunch today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa Horton with the Lakeshore Museum Center, and today my guest is Dr. Pamela Smith. And by day, she is a professor educating young minds and at MCC, and by night she does research on Black-owned businesses here in Muskegon, doing research on family history, genealogy, creating exhibits, and we're lucky enough to have those exhibits at the Heritage Museum of Business and Industry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. DJ Hilson, Muskegon County Prosecutor, and I have the privilege of having with as my guest today the United States Attorney for the Western District, Mark Totten. So if you're on the FBI's most wanted list, you may want to leave now. That's right.
Hi, I'm Lisa Kraus with Edward Jones. I have a much safer guest for everyone. I've learned she doesn't need any introduction. She may be young, but she already knows all of you. And for the three of you who don't know her, this is Mallory Meston from Energy Conservation Source. They put solar panels on commercial and industrial buildings. And she is also formerly was an Interact and went to Honduras twice. So she's very familiar with Rotary.
Thank you.
Are we positioned right for you? Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Cece Riley, the Communications and Marketing Director at Hackley Community Care. And with me today, I have my friend and former colleague, Lauren Meldrum. She is the principal and co-founder of Every Voice Dialectical Consulting. And she specializes in strategic planning, grant writing, project implementation. And so there might be a few folks in this room who know her or might be able to use her services as well. And she's considering joining Rotary as well. Yes.
Welcome.
I'm David Mettendorf from Mettendorf Real Estate, and this is Eric Raskovitz. He just joined our team, and he's trying to help me stay organized with everything I got going on. So, thank you.
Right here. Hi, with me today, I'm Christine Robert with United Way, and with me today is Wenise Hairston, and many of you know her. Wenise is our Community Impact Director at United Way, but which means she gets to spend all the money that's raised in the campaign, which is always nice, and many of the wonderful agencies in the room apply for those dollars. But Wenise also does a fun thing on the radio, so she's here with me to support Paul Billings and the team from over there.
Hello, Chris Colley with Age World Services. I'm very proud to bring my family to Rotary today. This is Chief Mark Vanderstout with Norton Shores. He will be joining Rotary next month. Yay. And my daughter, Lucille Holman, as you can tell, we look nothing alike. We're nothing alike at all. Thanks for joining us. Oh, let's go back this way. Okay.
I'm Rob Taylor, and I know I cut the line, but I wanted to save the best for last. But my guests today are two guests here. Mihan Quinn, you might know him as Q on 103.7. I told him he's going to have to help me out with the number. More commonly known as The Beat. I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Mihan about the Bicycle Coalition. My other guest is my wonderful and supportive wife, Priscilla. She's my driver because I'm a little bit hobbled right now. So I'm thankful for that.
Hi, it's me again. And then you'll see me one more time. I am here to bring the Early Act Lincoln Park crew with us. These are fifth graders, and we're going to just do a little introduction and tell you just a snippet of what they have been doing this year. We're going to start with Mr. Zimmer.
It's okay. All right, my name's Tim Zinger. I am one of the advisors along with Amy Recor, who is on a field trip today, along with our principal, Sherry Ralston. We started Early Act at Lincoln Park Elementary in Mona Shores last year, and we had 10 kids. This year is our second year. We have 19 this year. So we're trying to grow it, and yeah, that's exciting. And what's even more exciting for these students, next year, middle school is starting it at middle school. So my first class doing it is sixth grade, and next year when they're in seventh grade, they're going to start it up at the middle school now. So it's just expanding in Mona Shores, which is awesome to see. So we have 4 of our students up here. They are going to describe our 3 projects and some of the fundraising we are doing.
Hello, my name is Stella, and I am here with our fifth grade student Early Act group. I'm going to describe our fundraisers. We have done a past fundraiser selling cookies at our STEM night in November. This week we are hosting an Early Act fundraising week. During this week, we sold cookies, had a pet drive, Change Wars, sold Smencils, including Change Wars. The classes with $70 or more get to spin a prize wheel. In one class will win a grand prize. So far, we have raised over $1,400. Thank you for all those who have supported us by buying carnations today.
There are still some to be had.
Greetings, my name is Lucille and I'm a member of 5th grade Early Act. I'm going to speak to you about our school project, which is Early Elf. Early Elf is a system where Early Act members are all assigned a teacher to help with anything the teacher may need. We have all committed to this and hold a great responsibility with our task. Thank you for listening to me talk about our school project for this year.
Thank you.
That was really loud.
You did.
Good afternoon. My name is Camille, and I'm part of Early Act. I'm going to introduce you to Pound Buddies. Pound Buddies is our community project. They rescue dogs and cats to try to find them new homes. They need donations of dog toys, dog and cat food, and other items to use in their shelter. We have filled over 2 entire wagons full of supplies for the animals in need. We're going to donate these items along with some of the money that we raised. Thank you for your time. Hello, my name is Emily, and I'm a member of Early Act, and I'm going to tell you about our World Project. We are donating to Mercy Ships. They help provide doctors to places that don't have hospitals so that people can get the proper help that they need, so everyone can live a pain-free, happy, and healthy life. Thank you for listening.
Please support them by getting carnations on your way out. Thank you so much. Can we also have all the other early actors stand and wave? They're all here today. How cool, right?
Go ahead.
Here, come on in. Good afternoon, Rotary. Marty Seitzma here, and I'm just realizing why they say you should never follow kids. But that's okay, because you have to cheer again, because we've got Muskegon Covenant Academy in the house. To introduce 2 of the students is Deanna Brandt. She is Family Life Specialist at the school.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us here today. We're very excited to be here and share our experiences about our school. Like you said, I'm the Family Support Specialist at Muskegon Covenant Academy, which is a local high school. We service disengaged youth ages 15 to 22 with a mission in mind to prevent youth homelessness and youth incarceration. A lot of our students were kind of considered their last stop. They've fallen through the cracks other places, and we do everything in our power to meet them where they are. And in doing so, we've seen great success. Actually, I have 2 graduates here today. They're going to be graduating shortly. Some of the things that we do to kind of promote that, we have on-site daycare so our young families can bring their children to school with them. We have hygiene pantries. We recently just opened up our shelter housing for our students to live in. Any of our students who are experiencing homelessness, whether it's for a short period of time or a long period of time, we have a dorm for them to live in that is now occupied 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by our house parents. It's been absolutely amazing to get that back up and running. And without further ado, I just want to thank you again for being here, letting us come today. And our students that are going to be speaking today is Miss Lorraine Davis and Miss Jasmine Zambrano. They're both going to be graduates of June of 2024.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lorraine Davis. Muskegon Covenant Academy has helped and pushed me in so many ways. They gave me a lot of opportunities and knowledge that I can take with me forever. My plans after high school is I want to go to college for cosmetology and business. I have 7 siblings. 3 of them graduated from MCA. I'm working towards being the 4th. When I first went to MCA, it was about 3.5 years ago. I was 16 years old. I wasn't as focused as I am now, I can say. I wasn't myself. I still needed to work on me and my goals. So for my change, I had to come to a realization of my weaknesses. When I was at Muskegon High School, I had a boyfriend, and I stopped focusing on my schoolwork, and that led me to getting kicked out and going to MCA. When I went to MCA, I was single. Then I ended up getting in a relationship when I wasn't ready. That almost cost my future. I stopped going to school. I stopped doing my work. I drifted away from God and myself. But of course, MCA is the best school. Then I got myself together and came back to school. The staffs helped me a lot. They talked to me, they encouraged me, and they got me on back back on track with my schoolwork. They gave me a lot of opportunities and a lot of knowledge that I can take with me forever. And for that, MCA will always have a special place in my heart.
Hi, I'm a student at Muskegon Covenant Academy. I will be graduating June 11, 2024. I am a full-time employee at ADAC Automotives. After graduation, I plan on doing 2 years in the fall at Muskegon Community College, then my last 2 years at Valley State University, in order to obtain my master's degree in early childhood education. I've always wanted to be an educator for young children. My main focus when I started MCA was to just get my high school diploma, but after a couple months, they would have different guest speakers come in and talk to us about a lot of jobs and careers that we could do after high school. I highly recommend students who have recently dropped out, even teen moms are welcome. This is a place for you. They have a baby room for parents so they can do their schoolwork. All the staff play an important role. Ms. D's job title is family specialist. She is amazing at her job. She's the one who plans and organizes events like Count Day, Spirit Week, field trips, etc. If you're having issues at home, you can talk to her. Another wonderful person is Ms. Megan. She is also located in the front office. She is an amazing listener. I am very thankful for all the teachers and staffs not for giving up on me. I truly am satisfied with the staff's work on keeping it safe and learning environment, especially for the students who like to work at their own pace.
Welcome to all our guests. We're so happy you're here with us today, especially all the young people. You've really infused some energy into the room, and we're grateful for that. Chris, I know you haven't been up here much, but you got to come introduce Paul.
What a great day to be at Rotary, right? Woo! I got a little choked up there. Girls, rock on. An accomplished leader and entrepreneur, Paul Allen Billings, or PA for short, has significantly impacted community development and media broadcasting over two decades. Paul founded the West Michigan Community Help Network, quickly building unity in the community, and owns, of course, the FM radio station 103.7 The Beat, as well as 106 FM. His initiatives have deeply supported underserved communities. He successfully acquired FM broadcasting licenses across several states, launching impactful projects, including a community-focused radio station in Orlando, Florida, and the Visit Tanzania for Less safari company. Serving as developmental chief in a local Ghana village, his work promotes sustainable community growth and cultural exchanges. His leadership extends to valuable contributions on boards, influencing urban music, community therapy, parks and recreation, and showcasing his dedication to civic betterment. Paul Allen is a distinguished serviceman, including time in the U.S. Army Reserve and as a correction officer for the state of Michigan, which underpins his disciplined leadership approach. He was just awarded the 2024 Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year. He is recognized for his entrepreneurial excellence and positive community impact, including the 2019 Citizen of the Year and multiple service community honors. It is a pleasure today to welcome Mr. Paul Allen Billings.
Man, it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Chris Colley, for the invitation. And I was impacted by the previous guest who spoke, and the young kids in elementary. Your future is bright. And to the kids from MCA, you touched me. I was a correction officer for 13 years, and I saw kids come through there who didn't have the opportunity that you had. And I'm so proud and so glad to hear that you've taken advantage of the opportunity that is here for you and is going on to the next level. Before I get started the presentation, you can start the clock. I know I got 20 minutes. Before I get started, I got to acknowledge that I couldn't do all this travel without a team that can hold down Muskegon. Muskegon is home. I stay in Florida. I got a dual citizenship in Ghana. I have a business in Tanzania. But I couldn't leave this country without having a group of people that believe and that can hold this fort down while I travel. So I got to acknowledge my assistant general manager is here, Big Rob, if you don't mind standing. Our program director, Mihan Quinn. I don't know how this happened. I did not invite him. Somebody else invited him. This young man started off in our mentorship program. He probably was a candidate for MCA if it was available. He wasn't going to graduate, but he came up in our mentorship program and turned his life around, and is one of our most valuable assets and helps us run 3 radio stations. Also, one of my board members, Karen Boyes, is here, county clerk. Darwin Smith is on radio, he's here. Miss Niecy Harrison does a radio show, she's here. I think DJ Hilson also has a radio show, he's here. So I'm surrounded by radio family. Remington Sprague's like family, and Sister Scott, like, it's nothing but family. But anyway, here we go. Let me get started this presentation. Generally, when I do this presentation, it's about an hour. So I had to condense, traveling, I had to condense this down to 20 minutes. Journey through Africa, discovery of culture, nature, and leadership. This flag here, this map is something that we created. It's original. It breaks down the images of Africa. You're not gonna see any starving kids on this slide. What you're gonna see is what you see when you arrive in the motherland. I dedicated my past 20 plus years to uplifting Muskegon and Muskegon Heights. My steadfast support for marginalized community has made me a beacon of hope. And as chief of the Abiazi Shako village in Ghana, I embody leadership and empathy. We've done a lot of good work in Ghana, and in our village, we've been able to raise the college admission rate by installing the very first computer lab that has internet. We've been able to build churches, build mosques, just do a bunch of work. And I can't even show you all the slides, but we will get to that later on in this presentation. Ghana was the first country that I visited because of its strong history, because of its proximity to America. Its first president, Kwame Nkrumah, was educated in America. He was a friend of Dr. Martin Luther King. He went to HBC University, and Ghana was the first country to get its independence from colonial rule. And I had a friend who owned the radio station in Ben Harbor, and he left Ben Harbor and moved to Ghana. And I was like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing there? Like, man, you need to come here, PA. You need to come here. It's not what you think. And he was right. And so Ghana was the first country that I visited. I visited 14 countries since that time. Kenya, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Rwanda, South Africa, Togo, Zambia, Egypt, Senegal, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Swaziland, Tanzania, and Ghana. And I would get into why I chose these countries. It was a reason why I visited these particular, at least 10 out of the 14 countries. Kenya, home of President Obama's family, his paternal lineage. While in Kenya, I had an opportunity to visit the Maasai people, a very strong, popular village of people that spans from Kenya down to Tanzania. It's a very different culture. You know, people see men wearing what look like women's shoes, but it has a meaning. Family is everything to Maasai people. They live off the land, and they're one of the biggest tribes throughout Africa. My journey to Kenya was the very first time I had a chance to fly on a Black-owned airline, Kenya Airways. From New York, you fly to Kenya direct. It's one of the largest airlines in Africa, the second largest airline in Africa behind Ethiopian Airways. Nairobi is a big, big city. It's one of the few cities that I've been to that kind of remind me of New York. You probably can't see the big buildings in the background, but the picture to the far right, I got access to the rooftop. I've been blessed. When I go to different places, I get blessed to get connected with some of the top people who have influence. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. You know, And so I got access to this government building that gave me a 360 view of Nairobi. And it was an amazing view. Nairobi, what's unique about it that I really observed was a lot of, in the bus system, they have a bunch of buses, but most of the buses have, I don't know if we have a light on this, in the middle, they generally honoring somebody from America. And I found that to be amazing. Like I'm seeing Steph Curry here on a bus. You'll see, Michelle Obama, you'll see Nicki Minaj, you'll see Rihanna, you'll see some of the people who are from America 7,000 miles away being honored. And it gave me a sense of pride to know that people are watching us. People are watching us in America, and they want to be in our shoes. They want to be like us in so many ways. Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa, I had a chance to visit Ethiopia right before the pandemic. In January of 2020, I brought in the new year in Ethiopia. Such a rich culture. What makes Ethiopia unique, of all the countries in Africa, they were the only country who was able to fight off colonization. They were willing to die for their freedom. So they was never colonized. They have their own clock, they have their own cell phone system. It's the only country that I went to that T-Mobile won't work at. And it don't work. They have their own, way of doing life. They have their own time. It's not 2024 in Ethiopia. They're back. So, but it was unique. And the bottom right slide is Lucy. Lucy is the oldest human being ever. That's 1 million years old. In Ethiopia, they've been able to preserve a lot of their history because of colonization. It's one of my favorite countries. I know we have a young man from Muskegon Heights who actually lives in Ethiopia, Mr. Watson. Mozambique, it's the first country that I visited that was colonized by Portugal. So they speak Portuguese. Beautiful beaches. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but I did get a chance to talk to some of the people there from Mozambique. And this is off the Indian Ocean. Rwanda, very emotional time. The country of Rwanda, if you've seen the movie Hotel Rwanda, it talked about genocide. And since that time, this country has done a lot of healing. If you want to learn about forgiveness, talk to somebody from Rwanda. My driver, I didn't know that his mother, he lost his mother, he lost his grandmother, he lost one of his siblings during the genocide. And they tried to kill him. He had a finger that was almost sliced out. He had a cut behind his head. But when we spent our time together, he never talked about hatred towards the group of people that was trying to take out his tribe. It's a very clean country. Of all the countries I've been to in Africa, Rwanda is the cleanest I've ever seen. The country has went through a phase of reconciliation, and the current president, I believe, won a Nobel Peace Prize for its effort. The bottom right slide is where the genocide took place. This was that was the hotel that was featured in Hotel Rwanda. It's an emotional place. You still see the scars, but you see the healing, and you also see a lot of American presence. America, we moved kind of late. It was embarrassing to see that America moved slow when the killing was happening. But America also was the major country that brought hope to Rwanda. So they're very thankful that the American government put millions of dollars into providing housing for people that were displaced. They brought a lot of people to America for a better life. So America, take pride in knowing that your country has helped build this country that was on the way to being demolished because of genocide. South Africa, one of my favorite countries out of the 14. If you're looking for a place that looks like America but still has its African culture, South Africa is that place. Your internet will be fast. The streets, that's important. The streets are paved. The buildings, infrastructure is strong. You still see the effects of apartheid, though. you still see that the Black Africans probably make 10 times or 2 times less than their counterparts. And so they're making progress, but it's also another example of healing. I was just in South Africa a couple months ago. I was there back in December, and I was there about 5 years ago. And you see whites and blacks working together, and it's one of the few countries where you're going to see a lot of Europeans staying there. So it's kind of like America. You see the DeVosses have an investment there. You see the McDonald's. Walmart owns the largest department stores there. So it's like you're in America, but you're not an American, and they have some of the most beautiful beaches. Togo, French-speaking country. I don't have a lot of slides to show from Togo. They was asking me for too much money. Like, you're from America, they think you're rich. So everywhere I went in Togo, police asking me for money. People on the streets asking me for money. So I just kind of like laid low, and I had 2 people around me to keep folks from getting to me. And it's actually one of the few countries I might not go back to because of that. It's a French-speaking country. They're nice. They're not violent, but and I get it. I understand. You know, the average income there is about $500 or $600 a year. I understand it, but it just I can't deal with the heckling. And I understand that Marshall Hovey Wright, our county commissioner, actually stayed in Togo, lived there for 3 years.
Up where I lived, they didn't have the people coming from my yard.
That's good. You were protected. I was down in the streets. See, when I go to Africa, I really like to go to see all aspects of it. So I do. I go to the hood. I go to the suburbs. I like to dive in and learn about the people and talk to them. Zambia, Victoria Falls, one of the 7 wonders of the world. I had the privilege of going to Zambia and taking a helicopter. These are all my shots from my camera. So this is not from the internet. It's beautiful, peaceful, not as popular as some of the other countries. There's actually a young man from Muskegon who is working at the embassy, just got a job working at the embassy in Zambia. Landon Fortenberry. There you go, Landon Fortenberry. Very proud of that young man. Yes. Journey to Egypt, 2019, Christmas. My goal was to go to Egypt for Christmas and then go to Ethiopia for New Year's. I was dealing with some healing. I was the first Christmas without my mom. So I wanted to go to somewhere where I know I could be able to connect with my ancestral roots. And Egypt done that. A lot of history. I'm sure a lot of y'all know about Egypt, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but the pyramids were fascinating, to say the least, to know that these structures were built 3,000 years ago without electricity. And what it meant, and to know the strong history there, it connected me. The first slide on the left is the Nile River, the largest, one of the largest rivers in the world, if not the largest. And on the top right is at nighttime. It's beautiful. To know what the Egyptians really looked like, I have a problem with Hollywood personally. The images that they put out of Egyptians is not the actual Egyptians that built the pyramids. I'm inside one of the pyramids, bottom, second from the left. You see the color of the people that's behind me. Those are the people who built the pyramids. Now, they might have been slaves when they done that, but it was built by Africans. And it gave me a sense of pride to know that that's part of our history. And there's a mummy you probably can't see right above the writing of More Egypt. That's a mummy. That mummy is over 1,000 years old. They wrap, if you were a king, queen, if you were somebody that was honored, they would mummify you to preserve you. They believe in the African culture that your spirit still exists, that I should be able to connect to my ancestors. Dakar, Senegal, also a beautiful country. It's French-speaking country. It was one of the few countries where I was the smallest guy in the room. Senegalese are very big by stature. I was very impressed, which is understanding why so many Senegalese was sold into slavery. I'm I'm pictured here with one of the police officers. Next to that image is the White House. And then we have the African Renaissance, which is a really big statue that America played a role with building. Beautiful country. Goree Island is where the slave castles are located at, and it's preserved. And so if you go to Senegal, you can visit Goree Island and connect with some of our history. Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. If you're Black in America, most likely you got Nigerian in your blood. I have yet to run to anybody that doesn't have Nigerian in their blood. It's in my blood, 30%. So I wanted to go there. It is so many people, like so many people. I've been to China, and if you've been to Hong Kong, if you've been to Guangzhou and been to some of those cities in China, Lagos, Nigeria, reminds me of China. So I didn't spend a lot of time there. They were also asking me for money too. There was another place. The accent, I do try to code switch. I do how to switch off and speak with a little African accent when I travel, but sometimes it just don't work. And so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. They have reclaimed some of the land off the ocean to build hotels, to build condominiums. What you're seeing here is right off the ocean, nightclubs, restaurants. The Nigerians are they into fashion. If you heard of Wizkid, heard of Tim's or Davido, very popular Afrobeats artists, they promote their culture. And so I had fun, but it was just too many people. And it's probably for younger folks. Like these kids, y'all should go. When y'all get to college, it's for y'all. I'm older now. I try to stay away from that. Zimbabwe, it was a quick trip. I walked over to Zimbabwe during my visit to Zambia. And so the Victoria Falls, on one side of the falls is Zambia, on the other side of the falls is Zimbabwe. And I was there during Robert Mugabe ruling. And at the time, Zimbabwe was at its worst. So I didn't spend a lot of time there. They couldn't even use their own currency. They were only using the American dollar. Could you imagine? I'm like 8,000 miles away, and they only taking American dollars. And that shows you how powerful the American dollar is. Matter of fact, of all the countries I've been to, every country takes the American dollar. They want that American dollar. The more, the better. I was on a cruise in the Indian Ocean back in February. I won some money on a casino. And when I went to go cash it out, I'm in the Indian Ocean now. I'm off South Africa coast. They gave me American dollar. I'm like, why are you giving me American dollar? I'm in South Africa. But that lets you know how strong and how powerful America it is. It's a strong entity. And I take pride being an American. I take pride being from Muskegon. When I go to these places, I don't say I'm from Detroit. Rob, no, I pull out my hand and I point over here, It is what it is. That's where I'm from. That's who made me. And I'm proud to be from Muskegon. Swaziland. We promoted the very first gospel hip hop concert in Swaziland about 12 years ago. Very first. And I'm proud to say Trey the Truth was an award-winning gospel rapper. We got hit with a proposal that I couldn't resist. And by being a Christian, believing in Christianity, believing in gospel hip hop, we introduced something to this country. Now, Swaziland is landlocked. It's inside of South Africa. It has a king. It was the first country I've been to that had a king. The king got about 30 wives. Can you imagine that? Each year, they have a celebration to pick. He gets to pick a new wife, and they line up. Okay, let me speed up. Visit Tanzania for less. I'm running out of time. Visit Tanzania for less. I visited Tanzania during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was one of the few countries that I could visit. You just had to present a test, and I fell in love with the landscape. It's off the East Indian Ocean, off the East African coast. Let me get it together, and started a company called Visit Tanzania for Less. We host people, we take them to the Serengeti, we take them to Zanzibar, and people get a chance to experience Africa that they've never seen. Here I am at a conservation, holding a lion This is not the lion you're going to see in the Serengeti, people. These lions have been trained for human interaction, but our guests get a chance to experience that when they utilize our company. Zanzibar, which is off the coast of Tanzania. Freddie Mercury, I think his name is, from Queen. He was raised in Zanzibar. It's a beautiful, beautiful area to visit. So a Muslim country, very peaceful. They don't have any homicides. Very strict culture in the city, but for the visitors out on the beach life, this is a very good upbeat culture. And this is some of the images from the ocean. For Kids Free Trip to Africa, we started this program about 6-7 years ago. After doing some traveling, I would love for our kids from Muskegon and Muskegon Heights to see their home, to see the real Africa. They deserve to see this. And I have these crazy ideas, and so Big Rob said, let's go do it. We're going to do it. So we did some fundraising, and here we are 7 years later. We have taken over 35 kids to Ghana, West Africa for free. Thankful to this community, thankful to some of you in this room. Y'all should give yourself applause. That is amazing. These kids get to see some things they only dreamed of. And since that time, there are other organizations across the country now, even including celebrities, who are following our lead or taking kids to Ghana, West Africa for free. This is the class of 2017, the class of 2018, the class of 2019. We took a break because of COVID. Here's the class of 2023. And this is the future class. This is the class that is leaving here in June to go to Ghana, West Africa. This was a lot to do in 20 minutes, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know. If you want a copy of this slide, let me know or let Chris know. You can get it. If you have an organization where we can come out and do a presentation, our presentation, I would love to do that. I don't do this traveling just for myself. I do want to educate our community about Africa, because there is a stigma that when you get there, you're going to see starving kids. You're going to see people not eating. I have yet to meet anybody starving in Africa. The reason why I went to Africa is because of this ancestry. 10 out of the 14 countries that I visit, I have in my DNA. So it was an ancestral connection, the reason why I visit most of these countries. Let me wrap this up. Thank you for your time.
Can you take a couple questions? Would you be willing to?
Yes.
We can have time for just a couple questions. So no speeches, just questions. Got a hand up there. Thanks, Paul.
Yes.
Right there.
And I need to shout out Ethan. Ethan from Community Choice, thank you, man, because Ethan believed in me, and I was able to get the money to start a safari company over in Tanzania. And so y'all give it up for Ethan over there for Community Choice.
Hi, PA.
Yes.
Just met you a little bit ago. I too had the opportunity of living or visiting Africa about 12, 13 years ago. Just visited there 2 months ago and been back 9 times, lived there about 5 years. And I can tell you that everything that you're saying is absolutely true. Applaud you for bringing those students there, because what you see on TV is nothing like it. I don't know where you visited in South Africa, but I was in Cape Town. But can you share with our Rotarians here how important you feel it is to break that stigma, that trend of what even us as African Americans see as what is considered our roots? Because it was beautiful. It was absolutely
growing up as a kid, the images that we saw of Africa was all bad. So in high school, when somebody would say, "You from Africa?" I'd be like, "No, I'm not from Africa." Because all you saw were kids starving, and who wants to be connected to bad things? So going to Africa and seeing that in Ghana, I see more blacks and Mercedes-Benz and BMWs with brick houses than I see in America. Yes, they have poverty. Yes, poverty is everywhere. But they also have people who are doing good, and they are developing. It is a developing country. You get to understand what developing country means. It's not perfect, but it's not what you see on TV. It gives you a sense of pride. That is a saying in America, black is beautiful. In Africa, they say beauty is black, and it's reinforced. Not saying that anybody else is not beautiful, but they reinforce that your skin is not bad. Be proudful. I can take you to my village where the average income is like $300-400. You could take a young kid that's 5 or 6 years old, 10, 12 years old. They are proud to be African. And that means a lot. If we can install that into these kids here in America, we won't have the crime. We won't have the issues that we deal with, kids dropping out. This beautiful queen that spoke about the hard times she went through. We know what that comes back to. Self-esteem means a lot. If you don't have pride about who you are, what do you have?
Any other questions?
Any other questions? No dumb questions. There's no dumb questions.
With a lot of material.
Thank you.
Does somebody over there have a question, or is that just a stretch?
No.
Okay, one more.
Can you tell them what is the process on taking the kids to Africa from Muskegon?
The general price is about $3,500 per kid. That includes everything from the passport, visas, shots, round trip, hotel, transportation, and money to exhibits. That includes everything. So we have 4 kids that we're taking that need sponsorship. We have 3 kids who parents are paying for them to go. This is the first time that we're allowing parents to pay for their kids. In the past, we took up all of it. And so we got kids from 4 different school districts, Western Michigan Christian, Moni Shores, Muskegon, and Muskegon Heights who are going this year, our most diverse group.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in addition to your reach to Africa, in honor of your presentation today, we're going to be making a contribution to Hand Wash, which is a clean water and sanitation initiative in Haiti. As you know, they need lots of help right now, so your reach extends there. So thank you again for your presentation, and more especially for everything you do. This is amazing. So. After that serious talk, we need to go to birthdays. So we are celebrating Camille Jordan Mark on April 18th, Mike Poulin, April 18th, Julia Rupp, April 24th. And just so you know, April 19th is the 156th anniversary of the birth of Paul Harris, who was born on April 19th, 1868 in Racine, Wisconsin. If you're in Rotary, you know that name. So, for just a brief moment, Mike is going to display the April is Maternal Child and Health Month slide. I couldn't resist this adorable kid in the middle with the blue shirt on. And it talks about the importance of Maternal and Child Health Month. And I thought that slide was a great introduction to our spotlight video, which Mike will play for us now.
Hi, I'm Emma Peterson, Director of Philanthropy with Trinity Health. And because Rotary's theme for the month of April is maternal and child health, I'm here with my colleague, Holly Alway, who is all things injury prevention, with the bulk of her work being part of our Safe Kids West Michigan program. Her work is fully funded through philanthropy. We make everything free to the community so that cost is never a barrier to safety for our children.
And our goal is to make sure that every child in our community has the opportunity to grow up healthy and be everything that they could imagine being as a child. And so we do that through several different ways. We have a robust child passenger safety program where we make sure that families can use car seats properly. We provide car seats when they don't have access to car seats. And that allows us to make sure that all families are traveling safely. Our work extends beyond child passenger safety. We also look at accidental pediatric poisoning. So we've had an increase in those, specifically from medications and illicit substances. So we were able to partner with Hackley Community Care to expand the distribution of medication lockboxes specifically to those prenatal patients. And that allows us to get lockboxes into the homes of families to ensure that medications are locked up out of little hands. We also look at firearm safety. So we have a Store It Safe Muskegon program, which allows pediatric providers to have conversations about safe firearm storage during well child visits. We also have a free gun lock delivery program with the Muskegon Police Department. And in just 6 weeks, we've been able to give out 567 gun locks. All of these partnerships allow us to keep our community safe.
So thank you so much for spotlighting the way that we're serving children in our community. We're grateful to partner with you, Rotary, and let me know if you'd like further information.
Thank you, Emma, for making that possible, and of course to Mike for all his technical assistance. It is my privilege today to induct 2 new members into our club. I ask Beth Ann Egan and her sponsor Gary Nealon, Jamie Soa and her sponsor Roger Morgenstern to please come forward.
You want the whole group? All right, we're going to get right in between these little pink. Did you want them?
I'm not usually up here. Sure, I'll go first. I'm used to taking the darn pictures. Okay. Cheese. Yeah. Smile. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Jamie Soa is a lifelong resident of Muskegon and is actively involved in the community. She has worked at Baker College for 23 years. I really think she started when she was like 3. In various roles, including the Culinary Institute of Michigan, and is currently the Director of Student Affairs. She is currently serving as the Muskegon Rotaract Club Advisor. Additionally, she is the Arts and Dash 5K race coordinator in the city of Norton Shores, serves on the Unity Breakfast Committee, is an Education Foundation member for Mona Shores, is a city council member for the city of Norton Shores. That's how we first met. We were both running, not against each other, but for 2 spots in the Norton Shores City Council. And she's a board of review member. I dumped that on her in January. That was good. I first met Jamie when we were both running in 2021. She lives in Norton Shores, obviously, with her husband, Chris, who is the owner of Lumbertown Woodworks, and their daughter, Sophia, 13, and Evelyn, 11. I think it's fitting that our Early Act students from Lincoln Park are here today, as Jamie is past president of the Lincoln Park PTO. Welcome, Jamie Soa.
Wow. We should have announced this public meeting, all these Norton Shores people here. I can see it. Look at this. Technology. Here we go. Oh, no. There we go.
You're the mayor, I'm just a council member. Am I right?
No. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the Muskegon Rotary Club, including you, DJ, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you an individual who navigates the depths of history with the finesse of a seasoned captain. She dived into the nonprofit world almost 2 decades ago. She looks through the periscope to Muskegon's future and knows she wants to submerge herself in it to ensure a positive outcome. Please allow me to introduce to you Beth Ann Egan, the executive director of the USS Silverside Submarine Museum. Beth Ann has recently celebrated her 1-year anniversary with the beautiful museum on the channel, and she's excited to continue to explore below the water line. Beth Ann spent 10 years in various positions with the Boy Scouts of America, both in Chicago and here in Michigan. She then went on to become the executive director of In the Image, a social service organization in Grand Rapids. Beth Ann spent 10 years with the organization before she answered the call to the Lakeshore and closed the hatch on that part of her life. Beth Ann is a proud military spouse and the mother of one spunky 5-year-old who's definitely a future leader. All right. She enjoys volunteering in various roles, from reading parent at school to the leader of the unit Soldier and Family Readiness Group. Now, if you've ever wondered what it takes to keep a piece of history afloat and to honor, remember, and educate, Beth Ann encourages you to volunteer your time right along with her at the Submarine. She believes that volunteers are the backbone of strong organizations and strong communities, and she hopes to strengthen the community through her time with Rotary. Beth Ann encourages you to take a moment to introduce yourself, as she will continue to get to know everyone in the community. She wrote her own bio, and I think it was awesome. So welcome, Beth Ann.
the references, I would have had something else written. Dive. Okay. Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I have the privilege of inducting 2 new members today. Beth Ann Egan and Jamie Soa, you have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Muskegon because your fellow members believe you to be worthy representatives of your professions and that you possess the qualities that will help you exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private lives. By joining the Rotary Club of Muskegon, you become part of a worldwide organization of business and professional leaders united in fellowship and dedicated to encouraging and fostering the ideal of service and high ethical standards to help create goodwill and a more peaceful world. Because you are a member of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, you will be welcome to join the fellowship of any Rotary Club worldwide. Membership in Rotary is an honor and a privilege. With this privilege, there are obligations. The Muskegon Rotary Club asks that you attend the club's meetings regularly, perform your share of club service, and use your knowledge and talents to help Muskegon Rotary carry the principles of Rotary into the daily lives of our community. Do you accept these obligations of membership? They both said yes. You heard that? Okay, so you're on. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to hand pins to your sponsor, and then you'll get the rest this way. Let's see. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I'm pleased to ask Gary Nealon and Roger Morgenstern, your sponsors, to give you these Rotary pins so your fellow Rotarians and the community will recognize you as Rotarians. Please wear your pin with pride. Okay. And here's the rest of the slide. So there's Gary. You can do the assistance there. And Roger. Thank you. We're laden you with gifts. Okay, we also present you with a plaque displaying the ideals of Rotary, a copy of the 4-way test, and a member directory. Finally, I have a challenge for each of you. My challenge is for you to share the gift given to you by your sponsors. I ask that you invite another person of good character and commitment to Rotary's motto of service above self to join our club within the next 6 months. By sponsoring a new member, you will share the honor of becoming a Rotarian. Do you accept this challenge? Oh, they still said yes. That is great. Muskegon Rotarians and guests, please rise. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I formally admit Beth Ann Egan and Jamie Soa to membership and welcome them to our club. Fellow Rotarians, please recognize and congratulate the newest Rotarians in the world, Beth Ann Egan and Jamie Soa. Congratulations. It's official. Thank you. With the Rotaract Club. You may be seated and bask in the honor. There are no Paul Harris Awards to present today, and here it was his birthday week, but that's okay. We're going to open our announcement segment with a video that you will all be interested in seeing.
I know that if I do want to be successful educationally, I do got to take some steps towards it.
So that was Tobias Melting you just heard from, our student of the week. He's a junior at Muskegon High School. You may have seen him play football as a freshman and sophomore, or more recently at a wrestling match.
He also focuses on his grades. Melton's favorite subject is math, and he has a passion for service, too. Melton told us about his time in El Salvador building homes with his classmates. He went on the trip with his school's Interact Club and took this mantra with him.
Every time I hang out with the football team, there's one thing they say, like LTM, little things matter. That's like the best thing because it does. It really does. A lot of little things does add up.
So although Melton is considering becoming an anesthesiologist, he's also entertaining other career choices as well. He's taking college prep courses to kind of help narrow his decision.
Congratulations on being our student of the week.
Yay. I'd like to point out he was wearing a U of M hat, just saying. Emma and Arn, if you can please come up and be ready to go. I have a few announcements to share first. Okay, next week, we go back to the Delta, so keep that in mind. Rewind will meet tonight at 5:15 p.m. at the Walkers in Delta. This week's Muskegon Rising podcast is episode number 15, featuring Michelle Harris from the deck at Pierre Marquette Park. The RIM has a link to the podcast. The Rewind group is doing a highway cleanup along I-96 this Saturday, April 20th, and they start at 8:45. They still could use a few volunteers. If you are interested, please contact Esther Rico, but please contact her first because there is a safety video that you have to see before you get out there on the highway with your equipment and your little grabbers and stuff. We don't want anybody getting hurt. And there are complete details in the RIM. Monday, April 22nd is Earth Day. It is also Microforest Planting Day from 3 to 6 p.m. This activity is a United Way Day of Caring event, and details are in the RIM, or I know John Noling is ready and willing to answer any questions. This is a project near and dear to him. Let's see, where am I? Oh, I have a photo to share with you for this next announcement. Notice the eclipse classes. There is a article in this week's RIM with details on how you can donate your eclipse glasses to school children in Latin America for the October eclipse. You don't have to be a Cavalier to wear them, as you see. And as I pointed out numerous times, please read your RIM. There's lots of stuff in there. Emma, we are ready for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just here to remind you of our next Pours for Community Happy Hour event, which is tomorrow night at Wonderland. This one is from 4 to 6, which is a little different than the others, but for those of you that want to cut out from work early, this is a perfect way to start your Friday. And then the next
Have a meeting.
and then the next one is also before our next meeting. It's Monday, April 22nd at Unruly, and that one is from 5 to 7 p.m. So after you help plant the microforest, you can come cool off and relax with a beer. And again, remember, proceeds from this event go to support our Muskegon Rotary Foundation. And I think I saw a giant cube floating around, which is a really obvious way to get people to donate. So thank you all.
Thank you, Emma.
Hello, everybody. Arn Bozard here. Just a quick reminder that next week, Wednesday, April 24, is our next food distribution truck in concert with Feeding America West Michigan. We will be distributing again in the Temple Methodist Church parking lot on Jefferson, directly across from the Muskegon Heights High School main entrance. I have a roster of those of you who have previously signed up. We have room for additions if anyone is inspired to join us. Volunteers are asked to arrive at 4 p.m. Food distribution begins at around 4:30 as soon as the setup is completed that we as Rotarians assist with, and we should have you out of there and on your way back home by about 5:30. So see me if any questions.
Thank you, Arn. So there's plenty of ways to get involved, get your hands on. Just wash your hands if you're planting tree, if you go to the party, that's all. Okay, it is raffle time, and I believe Eric Seifert has our raffle. What are we drawing for first, Eric? $5. $570. Oh, we have a winner, JJ. All right. Congratulations. So what's next, Eric? We're doing $10. We're going in sequence. 528. 528. Oh, we have a winner, but I can't see who it is. Oh, Joni, all right. Congratulations. And for $20, 594. Oh, right to your left. Is that, yeah, that didn't make sense. Is that Gary Nealand? Congratulations, Gary. Next week's program will be Changing Lives Using Innovation and Sustainability. If you could all please rise, we'll recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a good week. Create hope in the world. We are adjourned.